Hello and welcome back to a brand new SkillCapped guide. I'm Carnage and today we are going to go over every single peeking technique and teach you exactly how you can use them to your advantage. Without any further ado, let's talk about a key concept that you need to understand before you learn exactly how to peek most effectively, and this is angle advantage. Angle advantage is a term used in many FPS games that refers to the advantage gained by the player that is further away from a specific angle. This usually applies to the player holding an angle rather than the player peeking, but this is crucial to know no matter which side you are on. The way angle advantage works is like this. One player is far away from a certain angle and the other is much closer. This interaction favors the player farther away because they are able to see the player that is close much sooner. This allows the further away player to have a massive advantage because the close player will have to react much quicker. While using any peeking technique taught in this video, be sure to remember angle advantage and think about how it may affect your encounter.
And if you're serious about improving, then go to SkillCapped.com to unlock our hyper improvement system that will teach you how to win more gunfights, master your agent, and so much more. Backed by our rank improvement guarantee, you have nothing to lose. So come join over 500,000 satisfied members of SkillCapped, improve that KDA, and get the rank you've always wanted at SkillCapped.com, link in the description below.
The first actual peeking strategy we are going to talk about is your average normal running peek. This is more often utilized by lower elo players, and there is a reason for this. When you peek an angle simply by running out in the open, you are setting yourself up for failure. You not only have to scan the area and make sure it is clear, you also have to try and aim at any players and stop moving so that you can accurately shoot. This is a lot of work and will 9 times out of 10 end in the same outcome: you dead. The only real way to pull this peek off is by walking up to the angle you are going to peek and peek out just enough so that you can clear the area safely. This is still risky, but definitely better than just running out. Now this leads us into peek number 2, which is your common jiggle peek. Even if you are a veteran player, be sure to pay close attention to this section because I'm going to teach you some of the secrets to jiggle peeking that no one talks about. Let's not get ahead of ourselves though, we first need to learn exactly what jiggle peeking is. It is one of the more advanced peeking techniques, but it is also the most commonly used. It involves peeking an angle by pressing the A and D movement keys in a way that simply jiggles your body across the angle. To pull this off most effectively, you need to walk up to whatever angle you plan on peeking so that the enemies don't hear you. Now, stand right next to where you plan on peeking and hold down A just long enough to peek out slightly. Now, immediately hold down D to return to cover. This will help you gather info on the opponent's position, and you can even do some damage while you're at it. After you have mastered this peek, try to add in a bullet or two as you're transferring movement direction. This will keep your bullets accurate and allow you to hopefully pre-fire an enemy holding this angle. Now I know I said I had some of the secrets to jiggle peeking, and that is what I want to talk about next. This secret technique utilizes in-air momentum gained by jumping to peek for information. I know I just said a lot of big words, so let me explain. This jiggle peeking secret is commonly referred to as bunny hop jiggle peeking. This peek is performed by jumping towards the angle you plan on peeking as soon as you peek. Spin your character model around and move back to safety. If done correctly, you will only peek out for a split second, but you will be able to gather information. You can use this peek to find out where the enemy team is holding and maybe even bait out an op shot. If you are only doing this peek for info, you can do it even faster and then simply look at your map to see if you found any enemy players. If an enemy is in your field of view, they will pop up on the minimap, allowing you to see them even if you could not peek for long enough for you to comprehend. Next up, we are going to talk about a peek that is basically unusable in Valorant, and that is the crouch peek. Crouch peeking is pretty self-explanatory. You simply crouch around the corner you're peeking. To some players, this may seem like a good idea. When you peek, you'll be more accurate, right? Well, this actually puts you at a massive disadvantage, believe it or not. The reason this is such a terrible method to peek is because of your movement speed. Your character is so slow that their shoulder will peek long before they are able to see the enemy. This puts you at almost a 500 millisecond disadvantage to your opponent. Simply put, it is nearly impossible to win a gunfight while crouch peeking unless you switch it up and do a jumping crouch peek. And a jumping crouch peek is really only viable while opping, but could still be a solid way to peek an angle while opping. Simply jump towards the angle you want to peek and crouch as you are in the air. This will keep you accurate as you hit the ground and make you a much harder target for your opponent. Keep in mind, this was nerfed in a recent patch, so finding success with it will be harder than we are used to. And our next peeking technique is quite simple. It is a walk peek. A walk peek is exactly what it sounds like. You walk and peek the angle that you want. This has the same disadvantage as crouch peeking, but it is much less noticeable. Instead of a 500 millisecond disadvantage, you will only be at around a 150 millisecond disadvantage, which is still not terrific, but it is doable. The main reason you want to peek like this is mainly due to sound. If you're worried there may be some enemies nearby that you don't want to hear you, walk peeking is probably a good idea. This is usually the case scenario when trying to sneakily get onto a bomb site. If you can, try to jiggle peek first instead of walk peek. But if you have multiple angles you need to peek in a short span of time, this might be a solid strategy. And our final peeking strategy we are going to talk about is shoulder peeking. Shoulder peeking is a method of peeking where you just allow a sliver of your shoulder to be shown. The main goal of this is to bait out that op shot and force the opposing player to sit through the reload animation while you are firing shots in his direction. To perform a shoulder peek, walk up to an angle you want to be seen at and run towards the open until a small portion of your shoulder can be seen. Then, immediately drop back into cover. Remember that even though you won't be able to see the enemy, they will still be able to see your shoulder. If you end up getting vision of the enemy player, then you're actually performing a jiggle peek and not a shoulder peek. As soon as the player sees the sliver of your shoulder, he will react and take a shot, thinking that you are committing to the peek. You can then do a jiggle peek right after that, knowing they are in the reload animation, and now is your time to kill them. You could also use this technique to cross to another angle. For example, on bind if you want to cross a short, but a player is holding you with an op. All you have to do is shoulder peek them, and after they fire, you can then cross safely. The one downside to this method of peeking is that since you are playing close to a wall, you have the risk of getting wall banged due to the high wall penetration rating on a lot of weapons in Valorant. This makes this method risky when going up against Vandal and Phantoms just because they can spray through the walls and diminish a lot of your health. Wow, we just went over every single peeking technique that there is in Valorant. We talked about the advantages, disadvantages, and even some little secrets within each one. Let me know what peek you plan on using more in the comment section down below, and while you're down there, be sure to drop a like on this video as well as subscribe with notifications on. And remember, if you want to improve, win more gunfights, and get the rank that you've always wanted, then check out SkillCapped.com. Link in the description. I plan on reading every single comment, so really let me know which parts of this video you found the most helpful. Alright, that is going to do it for me. I hope you enjoyed this SkillCapped guide, and good luck, good half, and good game.